This is a Maverick Podcast Network production. Welcome back to the MavCast. I got Harry Ezell the third in the house, HE3. How you doing, my man?
Doing well. How about you, sir?
I'm blessed and highly favored on this Sunday morning that we're recording on. So we did a podcast, I think last week we recorded one, and it was about a different topic that we're going to talk about today. Because we were talking about the Chromecast and a couple of movies last time, but you mentioned something during that recording, which is why we're here. And it's a change in your behavior that I think was worth getting on wax, because I think a lot of people are going through this transition as well. You used to be like really adamant about buying physical media when you purchase movies versus digital media, right? Do I have that right?
Yeah. You got it right. It's even weird now saying it that at one point in time. I used to go to this thing called the store.
The store?
and look for movies to buy. It did happen, kids.
Remember Blockbuster? I mean,
oh my God,
you didn't
make it a
buy
Blockbuster
it from there,
night. Yeah, you had to go rent it. And they told you when you need to bring it back. They Depot people.
Man, that was the biggest con ever. But yeah, it used to be like really adamant about buying the Blu-rays, or back before Blu-rays, the DVDs, which made sense, because the technology, we still had, DVD players. It was ubiquitous back then, right?
Yeah.
So I guess we can start from the beginning to kind of make sense to how you transitioned over. So back in the day, how was it? How did you operate when you used to buy movies?
It used to be a game to me, because movies used to come out with these special edition jacket sleeves.
Yes.
And you wanted to go and get the special edition jacket sleeve because that was your flex when people came over to visit,
It's true.
You went over and you said, "Oh, have you seen such and such movie? But did you get the special edition copy?"
With a little banner across the top.
Yeah. Or get this, remember the holograms?
Oh man. That's a super flex. And hope nobody take it, because there will be a fight.
That is true. Over there in the corner, I'm gonna peel this hologram off. You ain't doing that. Yeah.
Yes, kicked out the family.
That was the reason at first why it started. That was my flex. I used to just go and collect to say, "You ain't up on this," and have this in my house. And then time went by. You get a little bit older.
Right.
And you're just like, do I really need this special edition copy? Right. So I need to find some other reason. Why am I spending my money on these things? Because, like Fat Joe said, yesterday's price is not today's price. Yeah. The cost just kept going up. And as we went from Blu-rays to DVDs, those joints used to be like $40 a pop.
Yes. Yes.
I had to decide, what movies do I really want to say that, hey, I spent $40 on this, right?
But was it worth it at the time to do it? Like to buy the physical versus the digital? I mean, did it make sense?
At first, yes, it did. Because when streaming in its infancy, the picture quality, the sound quality wasn't as good, right?
Right.
Like, yay, it's cool. You have any movie that you want on demand. You just click a button and boom, it's on your TV screen. But you're looking at it in not its purest form. And I want to consider myself to be a purist. Like, if you recorded something in like a sharp resolution, I want to watch it in that sharp resolution out of respect for you. So at first, highly worth it. But I believe your next question is it still worth it today?
Right. Is it?
Yeah. Is it still worth it today? So the answer to that is heck no. Heck no. Like, even if you have a budget system, and even if you're getting low-end internet for free from the government as a subsidy,
oh shit,
it's still not worth it.
Still
to go buy.
Even with a blurry, buffery picture, it's still
not worth it. It's still not worth it. Because now you're getting a little bit older, and this space that those clamshells take up, you're like, why do I have these?
I see some behind you.
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
what. Like I have a bookshelf behind me right now because some things you just can't let go, but none of them are new.
Right.
Yeah. So, like, why I have to figure out how am I going to store these things, and that's just some of them. I still have a box on behind the wall with some of them in there because
at least you have most of yours. I lost some, and some people didn't return the rest of them. Moved a couple of times, and some of them got broken.
Yeah,
man.
It happened. So now I got this. Even if you download your digital copies, how big is a hard drive?
I mean, it's not infinite.
True.
Right.
True.
So you got a finite amount of space that you can do. So you can't load all your high resolution movies on a hard drive, right? Unless you just got a big ass hard drive like that.
Well, better question for you. Would you rather move 3 hard drives? No, well, 3 is easy to carry. So what's it like? Okay, would you rather like carry 10 hard drives or 10 DVDs cases?
I would rather carry the hard drives, kinda. I mean,
take up less space.
Yeah, take up less space. Yeah, definitely.
So that's the point I'm trying to get at. Like, and another great point, I believe this one is on you. Lost disc. Let's expand on that. Disc in the wrong clamshell. That's my pet peeve.
Ooh, dude, you remind me of something just now. So I'm telling on myself, and this was back when Blockbuster was still in business. So I think I'm good. Statute of limitations is fine. I didn't steal anything. People. Let me preface this. So there was this one time at band camp where there was 2 movies that came out that had similar cases, the color and the graphics. So one was an army movie with Sam Jackson and John Travolta. I can't remember the one. It was a really good movie. And it came out the same year that A Man Apart came out with Vin Diesel. I kind of like the Vin Diesel movie more. So I was like, I wanna keep this movie. So I owned I owned the army one. I owned that one, right? And then I rented A Man Apart. I love Man Apart. So I was like, oh, I want to keep this one. So I acted like I mistakenly put the wrong DVD back into the case. I returned it, and they called me, and it was like, oh, can you bring back our movie? You put the wrong one in the case. So I was like, oops. Yeah, I don't have that anymore because I gave all my DVDs to my cousin, and they let me off the hook. So, I mean, to your point, wrong cover. I mean, you open that bitch up, you like, man, I thought this was going to be like the Expendables. Why is this the Little Mermaid?
That's hilarious. That's funny.
Told him myself.
That's very funny, man. Because I really don't know what to say. Like I'm kind of mad that I didn't think of that. That's a great idea.
I only did it once. To be honest, I only did it once. Because if you do it again, they'll probably send the police after you. It was at that point they were trying to hang on by every thread that they had. So they were nitpicky about like their late fees and all that stuff. Like they had all these tiers of prices where you rent. So like you rent for this long, you get charged this price, like 2 days, you get charged this price 3 days and 5 days. I'm like, I don't try to figure this out, man. You're trying to make me confused. So one of these 5 DVDs that I rented is going to end up late, and you're going to get me for a late fee because none of them will do back the same time. That was my get back. There you go. That was my get back.
Gosh, I do remember that. When they're like, if it's a new release, you can get it for 3 days on this plan. If it's one that's been out for 3 months, you can get it for 7 days. If it's a video game, you can get it for I'm like, what happened to the 3-day bring it back rule? Let's go back to that.
Yeah, just do it like one consistent thing, man.
And so...
But anyway, back on it. We go on tangents. Mm. But yeah, I mean, the whole thing about losing it, putting it in the wrong case, all that, the inconvenience of that. I think the only thing that was the benefit, which you just mentioned, is the flex. You know, you have your bookcase full of DVDs. Yeah, people come over and they're like, "Wow, you are a true movie fan." And some of these people be faking out there with their like their shelves with all their DVDs and stuff on. You ask them something about the movie, and truth be told, they ain't even watched that thing. They got out the bin at Walmart.
They're using it for decor.
Yeah, man. Like, oh, how about the Alien movie? I ain't see that shit. Get the fuck out.
Oh my gosh. Well, so you mentioned this early about like how you lost your collection of DVDs, about the you let a family member hold one and they just think it's theirs now. Well,
right.
Another big reason is because I don't lend out my movies, because I hate when people like don't care for your movies as much as you do and they give them back scratched and whatnot.
Amen.
So, and then the great thing that came along with streaming of movies now was the group share or family share plans that you can actually sign up for.
Beautiful.
Which is, to me, hands down, if you're a movie buff and you collect a lot of movies and you want to share your joy of movies with other people, this is the way for you to go.
Absolutely.
I'm not lending you my copy of movies anymore, but hey, if you go out there and you create this account, right, I can share the movie with you. You don't have to buy anything. All you got to do is just give them an email and make a password, and just don't sign up for the spam mail.
Right. Don't do that.
Don't do that. And then I will send you the movie. And basically, they're going to give you like 3 or 4 days to watch the movie, and then they'll snatch it back.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's great.
And there's another aspect of it too, which I like. If you are in the Apple or Google ecosystem and you have a family, like a plan that where you share content and storage and all that, depending on how this goes. So you kind of have to read the description of the movies, because not all movies are eligible for it, of course, but there are usually options where you can buy the movie on your account. Whoever's connected to that list of 6 people on that family account has access to the library for whatever digital copy that you have that is eligible for that. So let's say I got 200 movies, just throw a ball out there, and half of them are eligible for that family share. Now, anybody that has that account listed can go into their Google account in another location and stream the happy ass off all they want until they take a nap in the recliner. You know? And they don't have to pay for anything. So that's awesome. My parents use it. My in-laws use it. Everybody uses it. It's kind of like a thing now. You just let them know, hey, I just bought a movie. Check on your streaming device and see if you see it. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's real awesome. And another great thing that they came out with streaming services is the group watch feature. That's one of my personal favorites. Right?
I never used that. How does that work?
Oh, it's great. It's great. So one person, well, it depends on the service, right?
Right.
Because and it also depends on the movie release as well. So some services require that everybody watching the accounts, every account that's watching needs to purchase the movie. Now that generally sucks.
Yeah. It kind of defeats the purpose, right?
Yeah. Now, there are some services that say, hey, one person needs to have the movie, and then up to a certain number of people can watch it all together. And basically, if you're the one that doesn't have the movie and somebody else does, and you're part of the group watch, and if that person decides to pause or go back or rewind or do anything to the movie, right? Mm-hmm. You're subject to that, right? You can't hit the play button on your side, or you can't skip ahead. You can't go back. You have to call and say, hey, I missed that. Can you go back?
Wow.
Or, hey, can you pause? Can it go back? So it has its drawbacks. But again, just think if you came together as a group of people and you went to the movie theater to go watch the movie, right?
Right.
After movie ticket and concessions, you're still going to come out cheaper at home during a group watch. And during the pandemic, that's what a couple friends and I, we did. We would group watch some movies, a series and whatnot, and sit up and talk about it afterwards over video chats and what. So that was kind of cool to actually get that opportunity to use new tech. I think the pandemic brought the best out of technology.
It did. Yes. It really did. Yeah. What service did you use when you use this? I know there's one on Amazon and there's one on Disney Plus. I don't know about the others.
Disney Plus, we use that one. We use this one called Teleplay for Netflix and Hulu.
Oh, okay.
Teleplay. And HBO Max does it as well.
Oh, they do? Okay. Mm-hmm. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So really, really full. Really, really fun. Actually, it's the only reason why I watch Bridgerton. Or Bridgerton, whatever that show is called.
I've never seen that. I heard it's good, though, but I've never seen it.
It's a good story. I'll give it that.
I'll try it one day. Maybe when they cancel it and everybody's like, just rewatching it, just goes on that trending list again. I'm like, yeah, I'm bored enough. I'll watch it.
I like that I'm bored enough.
You find gems that way. Now, we've been talking about the pros of this. Now, there are some cons to think about because it's not all like greener pastures over this side, right? So,
oh yeah.
What is your major con with like you transition over to this digital world? How is it different? Like in the negative sense, how is it different?
Now, so with physical media, you're tethered to owning the disc, owning the player that can play the disc, owning the TV that you can hook the player up to put the disc in. I'm trying to go down and say all the different steps that you need, right? You're tethered to things when you own physical media, and you think that you're going to break that tether when you go to digital, and you're not. You're really adding an extra tether that's kind of irreplaceable, and that's the internet. So it's the quality of the internet and the location that you're watching. So that's the major problem to the streaming world, because 90% of the time when you're going to be streaming something, you're going to be at your home or an office location where you're going to have sufficient Wi-Fi to get you a good HD at a minimum, 4K at the maximum type resolution in your streaming.
That's right.
It's when you leave those comfort zones and you try to stream something that like, I don't care. You can have the best iPod, the best cell phone, right, that you're trying to watch this show or movie on. And if the internet sucks, it will literally frustrate you to the point where you're just like, I'll watch it when I get home.
Right.
So, yeah, that's my number one pet peeve in being in this digital streaming era. But I want to add this caveat. Okay. If I go back to the physical media and I'm out somewhere, I'm not going to pull out a TV. I'm not going to pull out a Blu-ray player. I'm not going to pull out a disc and talk
Unless
about,
you on the train. Remember the portable DVDs? They'd be like, hey, sell you want to buy this DVD on the MARTA train?
Yes. And they had that little fold-up thing. Look, it plays.
And you get it home, yours don't play?
Yeah. So, there's ups and downs to it, right? I mean, we mentioned about this earlier. The space requirement if you want to download everything, right?
Right. Yep.
So you're gonna go through some gigabytes downloading movies at the highest resolution that
take up
possible.
Space. Especially a Transformers movie.
Woo. And then as you turn down the resolution, turn down the sound, you're going to be back in that same boat. Man, I'll just watch this when I get home.
Right. But the thing that is the biggest con for me, I think, is ownership of it. You're at the mercy of the streaming service and the life that it has on the internet, right? So you got all these companies that are changing hands, changing apps and all that, like HBO Max is going to merge into whatever Discovery Plus is, and I don't know what the hell's going to happen there. Content moves around and stuff or goes away totally. And let's say that, and that's just on streaming services itself, but let's say wherever you bought it at, they go out of business. Yours goes with it unless they let you download it, but that's not a thing right now, is it?
Well, I will say that, first of all, this should have been my huge pet peeve.
Right? I would think so.
But I cannot explain why me not physically owning something I was okay with it. I don't know. I have no explanation. I have no explanation. Second thing about the when digital services go away. So remember Sony's version of it, ultraviolet or UV.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, I invested heavily into that. Thank you, Spider-Man. And I will say that Sony was very good. They sent out an email plenty of time before the service was going to get suspended, probably half a year. They gave you a choice of 3 streaming services that you could choose from to transfer your movies to. And it's a one-time transfer. And then after that, you transferred it, they would essentially just shut down your account and all your movies would go over. I only had one movie that I wasn't able to transfer, and I cannot remember the movie.
It's not bad.
So yeah, it was because of the studio. Like, they used it as a money grab. Like, oh, you're moving from this one service that we had a contract with. Well, we need a contract with this new service so we can make sure that we get paid. So I'm just like, dude, you already got your money once for this movie.
Right.
Like that whole, like, Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank ruined it for y'all by introducing you to the word perpetuity. But not everything needs to be paid in perpetuity. Just get your money once and move on.
I think Disney is a really big villain at that, because they put something in a vault, and when it came out, it was this version of technology, and you can't really transfer it because there's no digital version of it that they will give to you because it's in a vault, and then you have to pay for a streaming service to even access it or purchase it straight through them. I don't know, man.
I was mad at the Disney Vault too. And that was my whole major concern before getting on Disney Plus. Like, I'm not going to pay you a price monthly, and then you're going to pick and choose what content you're going to allow me to stream. Now, with saying that, let me say this, because when Disney Plus first came out, what did they do? They're like, oh shit, some of the stuff that we released back in the 50s and 40s is racist, so we're going to pick and choose what you can stream.
I wanted to see Gone with the Wind. I don't know about you.
My thing was Song of the South. That was my, like...
it's like it happened.
Yeah, it happened. I'm like, this was a black dude just talking. Like, how is this racist? And then you watch it as an adult, you're like, oh my gosh.
That's pretty bad.
But those songs hit, though. Those songs hit.
It puts in perspective where we came from.
Yeah, it does.
Never forget. But I mean, if you look at it from the standpoint of comparing digital to physical in the life of the ownership, even if you have the unfortunate opportunity of the streaming service going bye-bye, they may offer you, if that does happen, I don't know, they may offer you a way to transfer it to a new service, blah, 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 whatever. But as we mentioned before, when you have physical media, somebody taking it or you losing it or it breaking is probably going to happen more. You're going to have a greater chance of either of those happening than you losing your purchases on a streaming service where you have your digital content, right? Do you agree?
That is 100% correct. And also, nothing is worse than putting in a movie, watching it, and all of a sudden it stops playing because of a scratch disc.
Ooh, Lord. And then you got to put the toothpaste on it. And hope for the best. Oh, God. Yeah. So, how did we operate like this? I guess we had to, right? Until the streaming capabilities were more stable, I guess. We had to wait, as you said before. Now, here we are in this digital age, right? And people are hearing us say all these good things about streaming versus, physical, right? Now they're like, well, I need to buy it. It's like, how do I buy it, guys? Like, transitioning over, point me to the place where I could buy. Like, get to the point, how like the news does, they have this segment, and then you're like, I gotta wait to the end.
We call that bearing the lead.
Man, all right. So there are a few services that I use. I put them in the show notes. I don't know if you have additional ones. I'm sure there are out there. But the ones that are major, only get money from me, are Apple, Google Movies, whatever they call it on your application. Could be Google Movies, or the Google Play Movies, TV, whatever. Then you got Vudu, which is owned by Fandango, and Movies Anywhere, which it was originally Disney Anywhere, but they changed it because is it more than Disney, or is it still solely owned by Disney?
Oh, it's way more than Disney. And it's my second favorite place to purchase movies, because Movie Anywhere is a great idea. So a whole bunch of streaming media conglomerates came together, and Disney had this Disney Anywhere service, and they were like, hey, pay me a nominal fee to use my Disney servers and put your movies over here, and we'll have everybody come and buy from me, and I'll put it out on their apps. It'll also be here on our app, and they can stream from our servers, and we can have a premium streaming platform, right?
Right. Yep.
So great idea, because I think Universal, Paramount, basically everybody but Sony joined in and said, let's do this.
Screw you guys.
Right. And it's a great idea. And it's, like I said, it's my second favorite place to buy movies.
What's your first favorite?
Oh, gosh. I'm an Android guy, and it hurts my heart to say it, but Apple.
Hey, I am not arguing with that, because we'll get to why the Google thing is not ideal.
Yeah, but Apple is a company that, hey, you bought this movie up 10 years ago in standard definition. Mm-hmm. Guess what? Everything is now HD. We're going to give you the HD copy. Mm-hmm. Oh, guess what? This movie is now offered in 4K. Instead of asking you to buy this movie again, we're going to give you the 4K copy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know of any other streaming service that does that.
I don't know either. And you remind me of a recent example. So here's my thought process, if we want to break it down, of where you buy movies, because we listed off a few, right? And people are like, well, I need to figure out which one. You gave me so many choices. You're saying Apple's favorite. You got Movies Anywhere, that's up there too. But what's the nuances behind this? Because there are nuances. Not every purchase on these platforms are created equal.
True. Say it again for the people in the back.
For real. Like, all right. So this is my thought process when I am going to purchase a movie, and I wonder if it's the same with you. So first I go on, and I don't go on Movies Anywhere unless they have like a promotion on a release. So the first place I usually go is Vudu. And Vudu would have an icon that immediately tells you if it's Movies Anywhere or not by the icon, off to the right hand side by the rating.
Okay, pause.
Okay,
that's awesome. Continue.
Yep, that's totally awesome. Killer feature. Also, what I like about Vudu is it would give you a lot of information about the sound and the visuals, what format each one is. Love that.
That's the key for me.
Killer feature.
That's the key. Continue.
And I don't see Apple, even Apple, I don't see that transparency there. Like, you don't always see the details on Apple's. I mean, I was like, and Google's the same, hit or miss with that. But Vudu is okay. So I go down Vudu and look at that, and I go for the highest resolution and audio I can find, UHD, Atmos, right? And it's usually you're going if the movie is available in that format, it's going to be on Vudu. It's going to be on Vudu, right? So you're going to have a chance to see if it's Movies Anywhere. So I'm like, okay, there's the thing. Remember we talked about before that the family sharing. which is cool is if you're in that family group of it could be mixed and match across, right? You can have it on Apple, you can have it on Google, some like that, whatever format you want. But when you sync it through Movies Anywhere, and you can buy it through Vudu and it still syncs. I think that's the only place outside of Movies Anywhere where you can still buy a movie and it still syncs correctly. That it syncs all across those platforms. So what you do, here's my thing, Harry. This is what I do. This is the killer feature right here, because you brought up the upscaling with Apple. First, after I buy the movie and I know it's syncing, I go straight to Apple TV, and then I go to the library. And here's the example that I was going to talk about. I didn't own Avatar. Oops, what the hell's wrong with me? So I just bought it. Even though it said it wasn't in UHD Atmos, didn't say it. When I bought it on Vudu and I went to Apple, it at least showed in UHD, no Atmos, but it at least upscaled to UHD. Man, that thing was beautiful.
So I am highly upset at myself because I've been buying movies the wrong way.
You got to rebuy everything now.
Well, let me just go through my process. So, all
right.
And you mentioned a great thing. So, Movies Anywhere, you tell your parents or anybody that's part of your family share plan that, hey, you just need to download this one app, Movies Anywhere, and anything I buy would just be added to your account if it's part of that family share plan. So,
right.
That's the beauty of Movies Anywhere. And so I start in Apple. And like you mentioned, when you go to the Apple store and you see the movie icon, it has the price, and you can actually buy from that screen. Mm-hmm. And what you're buying either the 4K, HD, or SD. Mm-hmm. Those are the only three prices that they show you when you do that buy now feature.
Right.
So to answer your question about can you see easily if it's in 4K or Dolby Vision or Dolby Atmos, the sound and all that stuff, you actually have to click on the movie and go in where you can read the synopsis and watch the trailer and whatnot, and it'll tell you on that screen where it is. Okay. And then you have to scroll down. Well, let me take that back. They've added an icon that'll let you know if the movie is Movies Anywhere now.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So that is there.
Ooh.
Now, I didn't know that if you bought on Vudu, it would sync and do the upscaling for you for free. I didn't know that, because I know Vudu.
That's cool, right?
Yeah. Like Apple runs promotions around holidays.
Right.
That's the only time you're going to get an Apple promotion for purchasing anything. Now, Vudu does monthly sales.
Oh,
and that's why I'm like, I've been buying movies wrong. Because Vudu was like, hey, this new release came out from this studio. Here are two other similar movies that we're going to offer for you for like $2.99 or $3.99. Mm-hmm. Do you want to buy these? And I'm just like, oh, yeah, this is a good classic. Yeah, I'll get it for $2.99. Why not? So I've been missing out on that. And I'm just thinking, man, because I've paid like $9.99 for a lot of classic movies that I know I could have gotten off of Vudu for like $2.99.
Now, there is a weird thing that happens on Vudu. So you do have to go into each of the details. You know those bundles that they sell when they release something in a collection? So sometimes with those, yes, unfortunately, sometimes with those, and sometimes when like those pick 3 or whatever things they run, those don't actually sync to Movies Anywhere. You got to go in every last movie to check, and you got to make sure that the resolution is up to par, because sometimes with those, not usually with the bundle ones, but when you get the deals where you pick 3 and whatever, a lot of those are just HD.
Okay, so my jealousy level went from like 99.9 down to about 65. So we cool again. We cool again. We cool. All right, cool.
It balances out. Oh man! So you got these ways to buy, and the way that Vudu works, and I like Vudu because it used to be owned by Walmart. So when Walmart owned it, they kind of replicated digitally what they offer in the store. You know, that bin that we were talking about, that $5 bin and whatever, and you just put your hand in there like, ooh, I'll buy that. I've done that on a whim on Vudu.
Did you, when Walmart owned Vudu in its very beginning stages, did you ever take your DVD collection into the Walmart? Remember they were offering that service where you could bring your DVDs in?
Yes.
They would run it through this machine to make sure it was a legit purchase and not a burned copy of it. And they would just give you a code for that movie. And
they also used to let you do it on the website too.
Well, here's why I never tried the website. Because I hauled all of my movies down there. And I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and spend all these because I know I spent the money. Let me get some codes. The girl looked at me with my bin. Total nerd moment, right? Girl looked at me with my bin, gave me the stank face, was like, the machine's broke. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? She's like, yeah, our machine's not working. I was so pissed. I went back to the car, called my friend up, was like, hey, come down to the Walmart right here in West Ashton. Right? Come down here. I handed him one movie. He went in there, came back out. It's like, yeah, here you go. It works. I'm just like, oh.
So they did you like McDonald's does with the ice cream machine, man. We don't feel like serving these people the same.
Hey, man, that take too long. I was like,
oh man,
never again.
Dang,
never again.
That is, I did not do that. I'm glad I didn't because there's enough chances I've had in the past to pop off at somebody at Walmart because they want to be lazy.
Yeah, if somebody was worthy of getting cursed out that day, it was her. I'm like, it's your job. Do it.
For real. Like, they're paying you to do it. It's like volunteer work. That's what you're here for.
You woke up today with this sole purpose in life, and now you're choosing not to do it. Okay.
Damn. Gotta be kidding me. But I do love that feature of Vudu. I go in there once a week, usually on Tuesdays, because that's movie release day on digital. And I check and see, oh, snap, they got a deal. Oh, can I pre-order something? So that thought process has got me the best deals. I've gotten if I didn't do the research and actually looked at the formats and stuff, and I think I'm getting a good deal and it doesn't share across services.
But again, what is it, like $3.99, $2.99? It really doesn't hurt the pocket.
It's fine with me. The only drawback is if you're expecting that to sync with the family account, oops, you got to come to the house.
Yeah, let me log you in.
No, I'm not doing that. I don't share passwords. Nope.
Okay.
Because there's only one time when you lock me out my account.
Trigger warning. That is the worst. That, especially if it's one of the accounts where you can stream something that just dropped that day, and need to watch it before everybody at work is talking about it, and you're like, "What you mean? That's not the right password. What you mean? I'm locked out." Then you start calling everybody like, "Who did it?"
Yeah,
don't act dumb.
The other thing, let's say I was going to watch something and you already started watching it, and then it's like it's in the wrong place. No, you will not do that.
Who has the audacity not to create their own profile? That has to be either mom or dad.
Look.
It's not your mom or dad.
I ain't saying it's either of them, but this somebody. Don't share passwords with this. Look, it's economically great, but nah. You can lock it out of your account. You'll hang it everybody for a week. We'll love you later, but that week is gonna be hell, boy. I'm telling you. Oh, all right. So cool. All right, they purchased the movies, right? The syncs is boom, boom, boom. They're going in. All right, now playing the movie. They got to play the movie, right? So we talked about all these formats and stuff, purchasing the deals and the syncing and all that. All right, now they're playing the movie. Now there's two things they got to think. Well, actually three things, right? You mentioned the internet before, right? So it's common sense. You got to have good internet if you want to stream, right? Now you got to have a device to play it on. And then you have to have the streaming service, right? And there's some other things we could throw in there, but we don't want to make the list too long. So when you get to the point where you want to play this content that you spent good money on, what is your thought process and how you figure out, like, what is your setup and like how do you prepare for movie night?
How do I prepare for movie night? Oh man,
Get some nachos.
Yeah, I don't know what that nacho cheese is. Like, I found it's out of Kroger. The name has escaped me. I would love to say it, but I buy it. It comes in a tin can that you have to open.
Ooh, tin can.
With a can opener, yeah. And you heat that sucker up on the stove, and then I like to toast some chips in the oven, and then I sit down with a nice frosty beverage or a nice little mixed drink.
Oh man.
I just let it rock, man. I just let it rock. Like, the best thing I can say for myself. Yeah. The best thing I can say is getting that single family home, detached house. That's the best thing, because now I can listen as loud as I want, as long as I want, and don't have to worry about any of my neighbors coming by. Up. Yeah. So the setup that I have is 65-inch OLED TV, 7.1.2 Dolby Atmos sound, and depending on the service that we're streaming from and the movie that is being presented as well, it's either going to be in HDR or Dolby Vision resolution.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's like going to the theater. It makes me wonder, like, why do I still go to the theater?
Yeah, we'll get to that too, because that is a thing that I think it would round out the whole digital thing, because there are a lot of the population that don't go to the movies and just wait for the digital to come out, and it's more cost effective for a large family. So we'll get to that too. That's a good point. I'm glad that you brought that up. Now, so that's your thought process, getting prepared to play the movie, right? So do you play it on what type of device do you play the movie on? You got the nice TV that's ready. You got the nachos that's ready. You got the internet that's ready. And
this
then
is triggering.
What?
This is triggering.
We already talked about you ain't using the Chromecast no more. All right.
So I don't want to go back down that road again. But so it's the TiVo Stream device is what I'm using currently right now, reluctantly.
Yes, yeah. That's a nice device. Now, so the way that our setups are very similar. The only difference is the player and the TV. So I got an 85 QLED with a Roku Ultra hardwired into Ethernet. Yeah. The only thing
the TiVo's hardwired too. I hacked that sucker.
Gotta have a hardwire. And you might get faster speeds wirelessly, maybe, but still the stability of it,
less drops.
It's, you don't want to be like flexing on your company and you be like, you buffering and shit just because there's a whole bunch of stuff going on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
You be like, I got good internet, girl. Come on, man. Trust me. Don't be judging me. It'll be let me restart this router real quick. Hold on.
Oh my gosh, the joke just came to me. In today's lifestyle, you're like, yeah, girl, my internet good. Back in the 80s, just like, I don't know why this VCR acting like this. It usually doesn't eat tapes.
You gotta break out your pinky finger and just start rolling it back in, like, oh man, I hope that this crease doesn't tear. You can't go in too hard, so you're trying to hurry up and get the thing back on. You're going too fast to be like, oh shit.
And why did they make that little thing on the top spring loaded? Like, man, that should have been a latch. Like,
oh my god!
Because you didn't roll it up, and you get down to the very end, and then your hand slip and clack.
Man, they're trying to set people up, man. But you gotta have good internet, man. You can't be trying to flex on people. You still got what? What is? Do they have DSL still? Oh man, DSL. Don't try to flex. You got DSL. You better be hardwired in.
Whenever I go over somebody's house and they're doing a stream party, and I ask, "Hey, Who's your internet provider? If they say
Wait,
AT&T,
you
I'm
asked
like,
that before you go?
hell yeah. Because like you said, that shit is embarrassing. You try to just watch the movie and all of a sudden, oh, why you got the spinny circle? I start going around to people. I'm like, hey, turn off your Wi-Fi. No. Before the movie starts, just make sure you turn it off.
Right. Hey, that's a good tip. Before you about to flex, restart everything. Everything. Yeah. Trust me. Just unplug it, plug it back in. Promise to God, it'll save you a lot of grief. If you can't hardwire in, that is. Damn, that is an embarrassing thing. You can't be flexing like that, flexing the wrong way. But yeah, all right. So gotta have it hardwired in for sure. Only thing I don't like, and I love the TV, but it's Samsung, so they don't do Dolby Vision. It's HDR10 plus. That's the thing. Yeah. But hey, look. I can't tell the difference really unless I'm really, really, really trying to focus. Like, and then I have to do a side by side. Like, how the hell would I do that?
Let me do you one better, man. I couldn't tell the difference because I can toggle between the two. I went out and I read which one was better, and the one article that I read said Dolby Vision. I was like, oh, okay, Dolby Vision it is. So
they probably got paid to say that. No.
Yeah. So to be honest with you, I look at the specs of the two, and I'm just like, it looks the same. So don't feel bad. It's like I said, it's just a flex. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's like you kind of like going to Dolby Cinema at the movie theater because they got Dolby Vision. And man, it's not a backlit screen, so what the hell, man? I mean, it's better than the standard, sure, but I mean, I'm just saying.
Talk about, you probably need to do a podcast on this, but talk about when you go to somebody's house and they don't have the same standards you have, and you just have to sit there like, hey, when we get home, we're going to watch this again the right way.
Oh, man. You know, I've made sure my family members have their infrastructure up to par because I am that type. I already went through
You're
this.
worse than me.
I already went through this. I'm like, hey, you know, let me give you something. I'll help you spend your own money. I'll help you. You know, I like to spend people's money. It's like, hey, you like what I got at my house? I'll help you get there. And when they get it, they're like, oh shit, they got to rewatch everything all over again. It's like, you do love me. Like, my love language is tech. You know, I won't have you slipping. Trying to have you out here streaming these fly ass movies on the
everybody that's listening to the podcast right now. I want you to rewind the podcast 10 minutes, and I want you to hear him give me grief over going to somebody's house and saying, "Hey, what type of internet service you have?" Because this dude will walk into your house and be like, "Oh no, come with me. We're upgrading this."
Christmas presents or home theater. Fuck. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
I'm literally
get you a nice soundbar, the TV, and the streaming device. Oh, you love yourself. Long time.
I literally cried.
See, I'm making a point to try to make you cry of laughter each time.
Oh my god.
When was the last time I called Thor flamboyant Ben-Hur?
Oh god, that was hilarious.
It's off the dome, fun. Chief. It's off the dome, Chief.
All right, composure.
Yeah, you could do it.
But yeah, that's wild, man. You go into somebody's house and say, "Hey, how many days till Christmas?" And you know what? Treat yourself. That's hilarious.
Oh man!
You know what? It's true. It is.
Yep.
It is honestly true. Nothing is worse than going to somebody's house and they pull out that tube television on the AV cart. And you're just like, "Oh, hold on, Mom. Yeah, I can come get you. Hold on. Yeah. All right, I'll be right there. Yeah, I gotta go. Yeah, because I'll be damned if I watch anything on a tube television."
No. We call that the big booty TV, Ron. Chill. You can't do that. No, man. Man, you showing your age. You got that shit, man. Hey, times is hard, but there's always a Black Friday, man. I mean,
I should never look at your TV and say it's thick.
I would rather you spend money on Christmas on yourself and buy you a nice TV to watch stuff because, I mean, that's your shit, right? Than you try to give me a gift. Gift yourself. Show me you love yourself, and I'll be happy. Because, I'm awkward with receiving gifts anyway. Like, I don't know how I should react. I like it, but what type of face should I put on? I'm not really in the mood today. I will always be in the mood to smile. You'd be like, I bought myself a new TV. God damn it. Look at you loving yourself.
I will 100% echo that sentiment. Like, I don't know how to properly give gifts. Like, when people give me a gift, I literally spin around, pull up Amazon, see how much this costs. I'm like, oh, okay. I now need to get you something that equals this value or greater.
The pressure.
100% horrible when it comes to gift giving. But that's a different topic for a different day. But yeah, I forgot where the show went, so I'm gonna just pick up on something.
Yeah, I got it back. Okay, I got ADD. I'd be all over the place, man.
So it does matter what streaming service you choose. 100%. Yes. I always start off with, even though we recommend Movies Anywhere because it's the easiest, in my opinion, but when it comes to the resolution, the sounds, for some reason, Movies Anywhere doesn't present everything in the highest standard. It may be contracts, it may be servers. I don't know what it is, even though it's Disney servers. So I start out on Apple.
Yeah, always start on Apple. Do that.
Yeah. Always start. Like, it doesn't matter where I buy it from, because if you sync everything through Movies Anywhere, you're going to get it on Apple. And we said, I think it's our third time hitting this point again. Yep. Apple does great upscaling.
They do, man.
With their resolution, with their sound. It is phenomenal. And then if it's not on Apple, I usually go to Vudu as my fallback.
Oh, yes.
And as a...
we were supposed to touch on this. Yes, we got to this point. Oh man.
Yeah, if it's
Google.
Yeah, if I have to, I go to, and I'm an Android guy. I go to Google as a final thought. And I don't know if you have this problem with Google, but I can't find out what resolution, what sound I'm about to watch this in. I just know that it's going to play.
Oh, man.
And then I check my TV output settings. Like, it's an unnecessary step. Like, reading is fundamental, Google.
So here's the easy thing for you. It may tell you if it's in 4K. It ain't gonna necessarily.
It may tell you.
It may tell you. I mean, it may tell you that it might be in UHD. Doubt it, but hey, take a guess.
Or have you never done this? It tells you it's in HD. You play it, you check your TV output settings, and it's 4K. Like,
yeah. But I tell you what it doesn't do. Whatever you buy on there won't play it in Atmos.
Oh, that is so true.
I was like, man, all right, cool.
No matter what
if you don't
try.
have the Atmos speaker, you good. I mean, this is a moot point if you don't have Atmos. But if you do, you're like, man, that's when you find a hole in it. That's when we found a hole in Google. It's when we got better speakers, and you looked at that icon, and you got it on the TV, and it says, you go on Vudu, and it tells you in the right hand side, like, clearly what format. I love that. Like, I can clearly tell, just in case I click the wrong thing to play, I can correct the shit. You know, if just in case the Wi-Fi is low, it was like, you know, I could tell, like, oh, you downgrade the HD. Let me restart this thing. But no, Google don't do shit. And, you know, Google starting to piss me off around the circle with a lot of this shit. But in a pinch, it's okay.
Yeah. Google got exposed when technology got upgraded, which is sad, being that they're a tech company. So this event is happening in October. Well, it is October now. This needs to be.
Oh man, yeah, it is.
Yeah, this event needs to be epic. Yeah, it's October 2nd.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you got to play it on Google and you don't have, if you're not expecting to see it in the highest visual or audio, you're fine. Convenience is fine. But hey, this is how it is. Great job. Now the last thing I want to touch on before we go is, all right, cool. We talked about the pros and cons of buying digital versus physical. We taught them how to buy it, how to play it, what we use, and then they're going to go back to this question that is a very, very logical question in terms of, okay, we may or may not go into a recession. You got to spend your money right when you adult. When you adult, you got to make choices. Like, can't be going ham and buying all these movies. Now, a lot of these movies, a lot of them, especially the box office one, big studios, they are going to go on a streaming service at some point. So you got to make a choice. Is the movie worth buying or not? Or waiting until it gets on whatever streaming service it goes to? What is your thought process around that? I am very interested to hear.
So if the movie is a Disney affiliated, there's just way too many to name, right? I wait for it to come on Disney Plus. Right.
Especially Thor.
Yeah. Well, which is another. I mean, I collected every single last Phase 1 movie, right?
Yep.
And now I'm looking at, no, not Phase 1. What are they in? Phase 5 or 6 now? I've heard. It's so many.
I think Phase 4, cusp of Phase 5. Yeah, I don't know.
Everything that's pre-Endgame. Endgame. Right. Is Endgame the last one?
Yes.
I think Endgame, yeah. Whatever, I bought all those movies. Like, everything post-Endgame, I think Spider-Man is the only one I bought.
Spider-Man and, yeah. I don't know if I think I bought Doctor Strange. May have.
I didn't. But it's like, to me, like those Disney affiliated movie studios, it makes no sense because Disney's going to give you the movie in the best resolution, the best sound.
IMAX experience on some of them, right?
Yeah. They're going to give you all the special features that you would get if you bought the movie from a retailer. So I look at it and I'm just thinking, just save that money.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. Now, it depends on your streaming service that your ecosystem in. If you go to one of the ones that we mentioned, especially Apple, if you buy the movie there, you're going to get all the same great stuff on the DVD. So, and to rent movies on Apple, when you look at it, if you really like the movie, right? If you really like the movie, the cost of renting and the cost of ownership, if you want to watch it more than once, buy the movie, right? Because they're going to gouge you for that price, right? Just buy the movie. And Apple will even send you an email. Hey, you've rented this movie so many times. Here's a discount code. Go buy the movie.
That's super dope. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I found that out when I was keeping my niece, and she wanted to watch that Troll movie, World Tour, so many times. They're just like, yeah, just go ahead and buy this.
Do you a solid.
Yeah. So it's that. And I think, yeah, that's my answer. If it's coming to Disney, just stream it. If it's going on any other service, if you want to watch the movie more than twice, just buy it.
I would definitely have to agree. I mean, there's few and far between that I make an exception with Disney. Maybe if it's not Marvel specific, like their studios, and it's, like the Venom stuff. Like I probably buy that.
Oh yeah, that's Sony. That's Sony. Yeah.
Yeah, take the hit with that. Not sure about the last one, but where it makes sense, definitely if they're going to put in an IMAX enhance, I'm not buying that shit. With the exception of Spider-Man, with everything else, it doesn't make sense. So like HBO Max, for whatever reason, they share licensing with a lot of their stuff, so you would have to see it in a window, and then somebody else gets it.
That's a great point.
I'm like, you own the content. Why are you cycling it through?
Yeah, that's a great point. Like, why do you get to pick and choose when I get to watch one of my favorite movies?
Right. Yeah. So you may have to buy it either way. Like, I was waiting not to buy 2 movie franchises. The Expendables. I think I still avoided that one. Because that moves around like HBO Max. It's on Hulu right now, I think. So it's moving. As long as you can catch it, it's fine. Underworld. Underworld just moved around so much, and they kept dropping them. Like you could see like two of them, and then they don't ever have the other one, and maybe during like a special time of the year they put all of them out, and you can watch them there. But like no, Lord of the Rings, not the original, but the Hobbit series. I just got all that. And Blade, for whatever effing reason, I couldn't find Blade for shit.
Yo, when would they finally put Blade 2 out? Like, I finally, when I saw Blade 1 come out, I was like, okay, buy this, because I don't know why these movies are just so, like, it comes out for like 3 days around Halloween and then it's gone.
I bought it on Vudu, and it's not the super highest quality, but if you go on Apple, it's the best that you're going to get. But yeah, I was trying to stream it. I'm like, wait a minute. This is a Marvel character. Somebody should have had it. Now when I look back, and I could be wrong with this, but when I look back at who distributed the movie, I feel like it was Warner Brothers for whatever effing reason.
I don't know why New Line Cinema pops into my mind.
New Line Cinema, thank you. Yes, New Line Cinema. Now, that's a Warner company though.
Yeah.
So it wasn't directly through Warner Brothers, but it was a subsidiary. I'm like, damn, I forgot you guys had those scattered licensing distributed deals back then, and I couldn't find it anywhere, so I had to buy it. I was pissed off. At least I could watch it.
This is gonna. I don't know why neither one of us mentioned this one, but Paramount Plus with that whole.
I mean, yeah,
they went out. Like, Paramount picked up all those movie studios that went out of business a long time ago, picked it up, and basically did the Ted Turner. They were already colorized. Oh my gosh, I just said that.
Ted Turner.
Oh.
What?
I realize how wrong that is now. Okay, let me move forward. So, Paramount didn't do what Ted Turner did, but they just put them out on the streaming service, and, like, it's a lot of movies that I've heard of but just never seen that I kind of want to go back and watch.
Yeah.
It's just they put so many out there that they kind of saturated the market with the Paramount films. Like, people tell me Transformers is out there, but it's so hard to find it that I'm just...
They actually played that one in UHD Dolby Atmos on the... Yeah. So, and I own all of them already, but yeah. I mean, I watch it on Paramount Plus because... as long as I subscribe, I'm not gonna be forever. I mean, it even plays better than the upscale on Apple. So it did. Hey, I'm just saying, it's not on Atmos and on Apple. That's the only thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if they're gonna cycle that off either. I mean, I saw a discount code on one of the Paramount Plus commercials during the game last weekend. I'm like, I don't know, man. Are you guys struggling?
I think, it's that whole original content that they're putting out there, because the one thing that I'm probably giving away a screen gem about, we should podcast about, but like a lot of these studios with these streaming companies, they're not losing money, but they're not turning a profit because that original content that only comes on their streaming service. If I buy their highest tier, you can't sell me any commercials, right?
Nope. Sure
You're
can.
baiting on those lower tiers, and Paramount figured it out, and Peacock figured it out that, hey, look, even though you're not going to subscribe, give us your email address. We're going to spam you to death. We're going to feed you with commercials, but you can watch it regularly on a weekly service. So they're making money off of those people. But you and they're not getting any additional funds because we get no commercials. Give me my content. Let me move on about my day.
Right. I mean, and it's okay to go back and forth with paying for it or not, because you got to get smart with it, especially if you're trying to watch these movies that move around, and you can't subscribe to everybody. I mean, you can, but you're gonna hate yourself.
You're back in the boat again with cable. Like, why did you cut the cord at that point?
Right. Yeah, it is more convenient, and you get different ways of watching. Fine, but yeah, your cost effectiveness is out the window. For sure. Yeah, man. So I think we rounded out a whole line of ways to think about how to transition. Like, a lot of people have been forced to transition, and they might be stuck, or they might not be they might not be at that level to where they can navigate around knowing those certain nuances, and they talk to some people like us later in life, and they're like, F, I gotta buy that movie over again. Now there are options. Now we talked about a couple of times that Apple upgrades the format of the movies periodically. Now, I don't know anyone else that does this, but I did see on Vudu where I had an HD copy that they were, for a nominal fee, giving me the option to upgrade to the UHD. I didn't take it, but I'm like, thank you for at least giving me the choice. But I'll just go over an Apple and see if it upscales.
Like, I see what you did there, Voodoo. I see what you did there, but I'm still playing this game.
Yeah, man. Can't get the tech guys. Can't get us. Yeah, man. It's crazy out there. It's hard to navigate around trying to find, what to buy, when to buy, how to watch and all that stuff. But great conversation as always. Hope we educated, entertained, and enlightened you guys. You're like, man, I got to go spend some money now. Yes, you do.
Yeah. It's a one-time cost and then a recurring subscription fee, but you'll thank yourself later.
Hey, go get yourself a nice TV and soundbar. You do yourself fine, and then make friends with family again so you can get one of those shared accounts.
That's the key point of this conversation. Y'all, stop burning bridges. Go back to your friend, your family members, and be like, hey, I'm sorry I threw He-Man in the sandbox, man. I don't know what I was thinking. Just share your movie library with me, man.
Hey,
go tear us out. Hey, man.
Hey, He-Man in a Barbie dress and shit. You're like, oh, man, that's fucked up. I mean, that's kind of okay these days, but no, that's fucked up back then. Oh, man. On that note, the fall is here, people. The heat is dissipating.
Guard your hoodies, fellas.
Guard your hoodies. Look, this may be the start of sweatpants wearing season. I need y'all to act right and not have people looking at you the wrong way for the wrong reasons. And then you be like, I thought you wanted to be my friend. I didn't know you was looking at me like that. So make sure you ain't in the checkout line too close to people, or the kids going around, you just all around it, like, then you gonna bust out and run. Don't do that. Don't do that. Chill out, sit down, put on real pants, and then go to the store and everybody's all happy. Then little Johnny don't have to sit down and be like, this reminds me of that time the dad picked us up from soccer practice.
I get so much grief. Like, it is so comfortable of just like, I just need to go to the grocery store. Just let me wear my t-shirt, my sweatpants, and my thong sandals, and just let me be. Just
boy, say thong sandals. The one that goes through the big toe and then
the toe, yeah.
Oh man.
Just let me be. I'm only going in here for a quick minute. I'm in, I'm out. I'm not making conversations. I don't care who sees me. You need to put on shoes. I'm like, why? Why do I have to put on real pants?
Yeah, I mean, look. There's places where you can do it, like Walmart, and nobody cares. But I mean, people that love you, if you come back home and you're like, why did you let yourself go out the house like that? They're like, why did you let me go out the house? Didn't you see me? So do right by yourself and all the other people in the store. Pandemic's over and everything. Everybody's going back to normal. Make sure that you don't have people like, oh man, why is he swinging his junk around the fruit? All right. Be blessed out there. Later, people.
Shout out to Atlanta. Yeah. City that pays me. Relax yourself, let your conscience be free. You're now rolling with a dude named MAV. Relax yourself, let your conscience be free. You're now rolling with a dude named MAV. Relax yourself, let your conscience be free. You're now rolling with a dude named MAV. Relax yourself, let your conscience be free. You're now rolling with a dude named MAV. I'm killing the flow. Didn't you know? I'm killing the flow. Didn't you know? Relax yourself, let your conscience be free. You're now rolling with a dude named MAV. Relax yourself.